Empaths, do you constantly feel angry and resentful after spending more time with others? And it's almost as if they are draining your energy and you cannot protect yourself, and it feels too overwhelming and too much. And so you're finding yourself constantly being stuck in that pattern in which anytime you are spending more time with others, you just cannot handle it for so long, because eventually you go back home and you find yourself angry, frustrated, and you almost start feeling guilty that you are having these feelings, and you're not sure what to do with them, right? You're not sure how to handle them. If this is something you've been going through, I want you to know that this is okay. And in this video, I'll explain to you exactly why it is okay, exactly what these feelings are letting you learn, are helping you learn, how to let them go, and what are they teaching you at the end. So if you're curious about this, if you want to finally transcend this angriness and resentment you constantly hold towards others, stay with me until the end, because I'm sure you will find what I share so much valuable. That being the case, let's directly get into the topic. Hey there, I am Daniel, a relationship alignment coach and a creator of the Soulful Relationships Experience. It's a one-on-one coaching program that helps empaths and highly sensitive people let go of any toxic, codependent, narcissistic power struggle relationship dynamics and surround themselves only with people who support and lift them up. So if you're curious how this works, and if you want to like transform your relationships within the next 4 months, you can always schedule your free relationship alignment session down in the description below, down through the link you'll find in the description, and I would love to connect. But now, okay, why is it that you feel resentful and angry when you spend more time with people? Let's say you've met your friends, then you've met your family, then you've met your partner, or you've worked with a friend on some mutual project that you had. And then after spending so much time with these people, you go back home, you're feeling tired, and you find that there is this angriness and resentment that's just stuck in your body. Well, why does it happen? Why does it work that way? Well, because think about it, my friend. As we are empaths, as we are highly sensitive people, most of the time, the feelings we feel are not necessarily ours. And that's why in the beginning I told you it is actually okay to feel that way. Because the moment you understand that it's okay for these feelings of angriness and resentment to come up, then you'll be able to accept them for what they are, let them go, give them back to the people to whom they belong, and then reach a state of equilibrium, a state of neutrality, where you can feel whole again, where you can feel connected to yourself. And so this is inevitable. This is part of the service you're giving to others. So because I know how responsible we feel towards the feelings of others, right? So anytime you find somebody who is feeling low, or like who isn't pending for the other people's feelings, and you're speaking to that person, and it's like you almost feel angry that they're not taking in consideration the feelings of the other people around them. Well, it's normal that you feel resentful and angry. First of all, because you're taking responsibility, too much responsibility. And that's okay. You're taking too much responsibility that this other person should also take the other people's feelings seriously and care for them. Because this is something that has been so natural for you. You assume that everybody should do it. And there is this subconscious judgment that is always going on. And you can catch yourself that if the people around you are not taking care of the other people around them's feelings, you almost feel like they're not doing a good job, right? And it's like you are the one who should take responsibility for that, but that's not the case. You're not here to save everybody. Ultimately, you're here to care for yourself, because you've been caring for others so much for such a long time that maybe you have abandoned parts of yourself. And so that's why it is okay to feel angry and resentful. And in fact, when you start accepting these feelings, I cannot tell you how many times I've faced this in my life. The moment you start accepting these feelings of angriness and resentment and letting them go, let them come up, let them be surrendered and experienced, allow yourself maybe to cry a little, to be grumpy, and to let that energy out. The moment you do that and let go of that resentment and angriness, is the exact moment you remember from whom you have just taken these feelings and assume that they were yours. And when you remember that, when you recall that, first of all, you'll be able to forgive yourself for taking responsibility of the feelings of other people that are not necessarily yours. Second, you know exactly what is it that you want to communicate with that person to set your boundaries in place. And this is actually how your feelings become your teacher. By accepting your feelings, and here I'm talking specifically for these feelings of anger and resentment, by accepting them, you'll be able to come up with the things you want to communicate with that person so that you can set boundaries in place. And next time you spend time with them, not necessarily just take their feelings as if they were yours and then always feel exhausted when you get back home, because it's not necessary, right? When you have boundaries in place and when you can communicate them clearly with others, then it's almost as if you're setting this psychic shield around you that doesn't allow you to constantly be sensitive for the energies of other people that haven't necessarily accepted that they need your support. And this is actually another reason why you feel angry and resentful sometimes, because you're trying to help people and to be there for people and to support others that haven't requested your help. And when you do that, you then find yourself feeling as if you are not important enough, as if you are not valued enough, as if you're not accepted for your gifts, as if your gifts are not respected. And then, of course, it's natural for you to feel resentment towards the person who doesn't accept your gifts seriously and um, doesn't see the value in them. But this is what happens. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So when we try to help people who have not asked for our help, and we want to support them and take on their feelings and try to empathize on their feelings, when they haven't asked for that, it's almost as if we're entering into their private space, taking their responsibility, and then not trusting that they have the ability to work through their own feelings. And when they don't respect our efforts to help them, since of course we weren't invited, and this happens a lot of the times with empaths, then we feel resentful because we don't feel important enough, we don't feel respected, we don't feel valuable. And we are self-creating this experience. That's why I thought it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because we feel attracted to people who are hurt. We want to take responsibility for their feelings, we want to help them, they haven't asked for that help, and then once we help them and it's not working efficiently, then we just take responsibility for what is not our responsibility. We go back home feeling exhausted, and then we are feeling resentful to that person because they didn't respect us. But we also never respected that they didn't need our help, right? So that's why, again, it is okay, it's perfectly fine if you feel angry and resentful. And the moment you accept these feelings is the exact moment you'll be able to recall from whoever you took them, and you'll be able in a way to give them back to that person through a really transparent, honest, and genuine conversation you can have with them, in which you just set your boundaries, in which you maybe just share that, well, I feel so naturally inspired to take on your feelings because I see that sometimes you're suffering, and sometimes you're just not in a good mood, and I want to help you, but I find that whenever I do, I feel exhausted, and I just want to set this boundary now that it's my intention. I would love to help and support you through what you're going through, But I want to just say to you that I wouldn't be doing this automatically anymore, because I find that it's not in my benefit any longer. And so I would love you to let me know if you need any emotional support, but I wouldn't just take on your feelings if you don't ask me to. So yeah, this may be something you want to communicate with the people with whom you have spent time, and then afterwards, when you go back home, you feel exhausted, resentful, and angry. And when you have this clear conversation with them, I've done this a lot of times with so many friends, and I'm like, this is also what I'm encouraging my clients to do when they want to take control of their empathy and like stop taking responsibility for other people's feelings who are not their own. Because I tell you, most of your feelings are not yours. You have just inherited them from like your parents initially, then from your friends, maybe from your romantic partner. They're not yours. And that's why it's okay to accept them, experience them. Because the moment you experience them, this wisdom that will be self-arising, it will arise on its own. It will tell you that it's time to set some boundaries. And now, if you need help with that process of setting boundaries, you can always check out. I have this free resource in the link in the description below. It's called the 3 Questions Healthy Boundaries Framework. It's a process I applied to more than 50 people already. And it's such a powerful process that first gets you, like, allows you to have clarity over your boundaries, needs, and gifts, and gives you a process through which you can communicate transparently your boundaries, needs, and gifts with others, so that you don't extend your empathy to people who are not willing to appreciate it. Because then you're not doing yourself a favor, you're not doing them a favor, and you're just perpetuating this wound cycle. It's okay to have empathy, don't take me wrong, but do not extend that empathy to people who are not willing to work on themselves, because when you do that, you're just perpetuating codependent relationships, and obviously this is not something you would want to tolerate for a long time. Now, that being the case, this was everything I wanted to share in this video. So I trust you found it to be helpful. Like it if that's the case for you. Comment down below. Let me know what's your experience with your empathy and setting boundaries, and if you're willing to accept that challenge to actually experience these feelings of angriness and resentment. And if you do, I would love to just tell me what is your experience once you actually let go of these feelings. And again, if you're also new to the channel, subscribe to it, to the Soulful Relationships channel, because here I'll be creating so much content related to empathy, to like specifically targeted to highly sensitive people, to setting boundaries, to working with feelings, to letting go. So if these topics are curious to you, subscribe to the channel, and I would love to see you around. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end, and see you in the next video. Bye bye for now. Enjoy your day.